Hey YouTube, I'm back again. This is my third video and last video for the night. Again, I'm doing these videos back to back like this to see if it'll force it to like put my videos on rotation. This video will deal with the beautiful nightmare that was basic training. My husband went to basic training at Fort Jackson, which is in South Carolina. And pretty much basic training, everything, this is a disclaimer in general, which I will say this repeatedly in videos to come. As with anything else in life, the Army is what you make of it, as with everything else. So pretty much basic training is what you make of it. From what my husband, told me, it's more of a mental thing, because my husband, like I said in my previous video, my husband had to drop weight. But he was not a big guy. He wasn't big. He was just, bulky, big. My husband was, very sexy. But he had to tone down. So he was, he had been running and doing all, physical training stuff for like a year and a half before he even went into basics. So he wasn't out of shape by no means. Plus, in our hometown, because we are both from the same hometown, like I said in my first video, we, childhood best friends, childhood and adult best friends. But in my hometown, they pretty much have I can't think of what it's called, but it's like an Army readiness type of deal. And y'all have to excuse my thing again, it's just up there. But that's pretty much where they go like 3 or 4 days out of the week, and they do the typical exercises that are required to graduate the PT test, physical fitness test. You have to do a physical fitness test, the PT test, to graduate from basic training, and then you also have to do another one to graduate from AIT. Well, for my husband's MOS, they go to AIT. He actually went to AIT for like 16 weeks, which was about 4 months. Well, which was 4 months. He was actually there for a little bit longer, but I'll explain that in a minute. And then once you actually once you get to your first duty station, then you do PT tests every 6 months. Because with the Army, physical fitness is understandably very important. So, by no means was my husband out of shape whatsoever. My husband, when he went in, was 29. And for him, it was more mental. It was aggravating because he had a lot of, and I'm sorry, I'm just being honest, he had a lot of people that were 18, 19, early 20s, mid 20s that, really hadn't experienced life. And we're just pretty much, just there, and we're hard-headed, as, my husband would tell me in our letters. Basic training, basic training is comprised of 3 stages. Let me explain that. It is red, white, blue. The red is the worst, then white, then blue. Gradually, it's supposed to get better. When my husband left to actually go in, the place that they left from, it was about an hour and a half from our hometown, so we drove to the MEPS location, and we drove Monday, and went to the hotel and spent time with him Monday at the hotel. And our hotel I booked our hotel, which was myself, my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law. I booked our hotel to be closer to the MEPS location. So we went and spent time with him Monday night, and then they had a curfew they had to be in by, and we, Tuesday morning we got up and we got there about 7, I think, and saw him. It was a whole day process. We stayed all day until he actually got on the bus. Which he didn't actually get on the bus to leave until it was maybe like 2 or 3. So it was, it was all day process. But we got to stay with him, got to eat lunch with him, and it was cool. My husband and I text the whole ride, from the MEPS location to, which he went out of MEPS in Florida. He left from the Jacksonville MEPS Center. So we text all the way from Jacksonville until they got to Fort Jackson. Once they got to Fort Jackson, they have something called in processing, and that's pretty much where they're not technically in basic yet. They are getting shots, a lot of stuff that they already did. Getting shots, getting fit for glasses, which I wear glasses, my husband wears glasses. So if I squint or anything, my glasses just look funny on the screen for some reason. But so that whole time, that takes like a day or two. You pretty much, they're getting their gear. So we had where we could text. We really couldn't talk on the phone, but we could text. Then, which if you do go and see him off from the MEPS location, they will give you like a brief and they'll tell you everything, you know what I'm saying? Then he pretty much texted me, I think he called or something. I was like, okay, babes, I'm going, and I will send you the information. Mail you the information with my address. So that started our basic training. Basic training is everyone's basic training, no matter what your MOS is, it's the same. It's 10 weeks. That started the whole process. And the process for me, the reason that I say that it was a beautiful nightmare was because it was beautiful because it was something my husband wanted. My husband had a good job before he went into the Army, so, it wasn't like, oh, we was broke, we was at our wit's end, nothing like that. But he pretty much, it's something he wanted to do. He actually wanted to do it when he graduated high school, but he was talked out of it. But I feel like things happen for a reason, so it was good. But he went in with the mindset of this is what I want to do. But there were people that pretty much it was a joke to them. I mean, just being honest. And that began our correspondence. I wrote him like twice a week, and I sent cards, and we would write and we would talk, and I mean, the letters were a very nice part, because my husband is like a real manly man. He don't really express himself like verbally. He doesn't. He's like a typical guy in that, and the letters were something that just, which whole thing, he was having to write them, after they have been up for 15 hours, but he would take, a few minutes and write me. But the basic training was okay, but it's all about the unit that you got in, that you get into. And I'm sorry if I look tired. I am kind of sleepy because it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. But his unit was pretty much, his unit was bad. It was hard-headed people. They were constantly getting smoke. With smoke is when you get in trouble. They would constantly get in trouble. And as you progress, the red phase, no one can call. The white phase, you can't call either. But by the time you get to your blue phase, you're supposed to be getting a call every Sunday. Didn't happen with us. I think my husband called me like twice. And then there was also a Facebook. There was a Facebook page for his company, and it was kind of discouraging. Well, no, I won't say discouraging. It was kind of aggravating to see once we got to the point where they could call, every week, I would see the other companies, the soldiers' parents or spouses or girlfriends or what have you, would get on and say, oh, I got to talk to my soldier today. And everybody in my husband's company, we all like, no, we couldn't talk to nobody. Which in our letters, we pretty much, you know, we pretty much, he told me in the letters, just expect that, I understand. He was pretty much like, baby, look, expect me not to call, just keep up, we're going to keep up with these letters, because this is pretty much all we're going to have, because these kids hard-headed, and they don't want to do right. And, I mean, the Army is pretty much, it's just like if you're joining because I have, I've graduated college, I have multiple degrees, things like that, so it's pretty much if you ever pledged, of fraternity or sorority, you break the line, you break the individual to build the team, and that's how the Army is. So if one person does something wrong, everybody get punished. So if one person doesn't want to, do something, simple, like have their room, have their barracks, clean, or something like that, something really small, nothing major. If that person didn't want to do that, then everybody in the company got punished. Or if, it was always something. So that is the one thing that I don't miss. I don't miss basic training. Like I said, he went to Fort Jackson. Just about every basic training installation has where you can go on YouTube and you can search. And you can watch, videos of previous graduations. So for him, the morning, they always have family day is always on Wednesday, and then Thursday is always the actual graduation. So family day is when you actually see them in their ACUs. That's the typical, like Army camouflage. And then graduation is when you see them in their ASUs. Yeah. If I'm saying it right, I might be saying it backwards, Lord. But, and at Fort Jackson, they do like this whole thing where the guys come out and smoke and blah, 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 y'all in the field. And I had already watched the video, so of course, that morning I was, oh my God, my heart was beating out of my chest. My mother-in-law was like, calm down. I couldn't, because I was so excited. I was so ready to see my baby. You do get a packet, a graduation packet. It's not like, invitation or anything, but it pretty much, like I said before, and I will continue to say, my experiences are from the point of view of a spouse. And with the spouse, you do have the option to drive. Depending on where the soldier is going, you have the option to drive the soldier to their AIT location. My husband was going to Fort Gordon, which Fort Gordon is in Georgia, which is our home state. So we had to actually go from Fort Jackson, South Carolina, to Fort Gordon in Georgia, which is Augusta. And it's about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. So we pretty much had Thursday, after graduation, my husband is on the sofa asleep. He hasn't left yet for deployment. It's really soon. I'm not going to say how soon, but it's very, very soon. He pretty much, I left my mother-in-law, and my brother-in-law. They left Thursday. Me and my husband got to spend time Thursday after they left. And we didn't actually leave our hotel until Friday morning when I drove him to his AIT. AIT, that first weekend he got a pass, which they tell you don't count on the pass, but it's pretty much everybody get a pass from my understanding. But we got a pass that first weekend, so I was pretty much able to spend Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with my husband. I left Sunday, and that is our basic training experience. Next is AIT, which AIT, it was a lot better. I will talk about AIT in another video. I'm not going to do it tonight, but it was in our state, so it was about a 3-hour drive. So I'll go over that in my next video, the AIT portion. So as always, I do thank you all for watching. Hey, rate, comment, subscribe if you would like. I am going to be going on to the official Army spouse website. You have to be a spouse to be invited to this particular. It's an actual official. It's like for people that are just getting into the Army. So I will be going on there and posting, letting women know that I am making videos once my videos actually get into circulation. So if you did see that, make sure to subscribe, because like I said, I will be answering a lot of questions and going over things that, you know, I had questions on when I first got on that website.